Hey guys, it's Isabella. We are on our final week and have reached a conclusion to the theories that we've learned for the past 8 weeks. What are my three major takeaways from this course? First thing that have fascinated me is the paradigm shift from modernism to postmodernism and its profound implications on the various schools of psychotherapy and, of course, including family therapy. No longer is an individual psyche or family systems developing disorders that need to be resolved. No longer does the therapist use intervention, which are about the individual or family. No longer is the therapist an expert. They decenter themselves and collaborate with the clients. And the goal of therapy changed from curing the individual to interrupting patterns, and now to helping find new perspectives and new ways of being. When a wife complains her husband no longer talks to her, there's no right or wrong way of doing things or resolving things. The therapist becomes increasingly interested in how she came to the understanding of that story, and be fascinated how meaning evolved from a deterministic and pessimistic way of viewing human nature and human beings. Postmodernism focuses on strengths. Perhaps she and her husband do have happy moments together. Therefore, there's only possibilities, solutions, and hope. Another takeaway for me would be the common factors theory argument that what is responsible for therapeutic change is primarily a set of common factors that cuts across effective therapies. Believing that the client makes the therapy work and that the therapeutic alliance is an important ally is, I think, a particularly interesting and humbling finding, because the therapist invests so much in the therapeutic relationship and offers a sensitive ability and willingness to understand the point of view of the client. The client feels validated, recognized, understood, and feels pride in themselves for having ideas of their own instead of just being told by the therapist what to do. Being in therapy also with a therapist who believes in the client cultivates a sense of power and control over their lives. And additionally, if a client is not responding to the therapeutic approach, common factors make the leap to a different approach less daunting, since the common factors orients the therapist to similar ends regardless of the model. There is indeed a lot of flexibility in adapting the treatment to the client. I also like the idea of the parts in the internal family systems, and the grounding assumption that there are no bad parts, only parts that were forced to extreme roles. Personifying unruly emotions as parts is a powerful device for helping people achieve distance from their conflicts. It's radically different from it's a radically different paradigm from understanding human beings than the one that dominates our culture. If it's true that these things we think of as our inner enemies are really heroes stuck in time, that by itself allows people to relate to themselves with a lot more compassion and love, and that translates to how people see how people see their relationships and the way they relate to other people. Is it really possible that even those who infuriate us have compassionate, relatable selves to the core, probably hidden by these protectors who would gladly give up their hurtful behavior if the pain they're defending is seen and healed. I think it would be certainly wonderful if it were true. Summarize your thoughts on the theories discussed in this course. I think it's important to keep an open mind and enthusiastically embrace each theory while seeing both its beauty and its limitations. I must admit that I fell in love with at least 3 of the theories that we've discussed. I think before falling in love, it's important to play the field, so to speak, as Gayhart well put it, to date each approach before settling down to a particular approach that best suits us. I think it's crucial too that the approach we choose speaks of the philosophy that we live by. For example, I am drawn to theories that encourage collaboration of the therapist and the client. I like the idea of seeing an individual as unique and having unique experiences. A therapist approaching therapy with a humble and sincere curiosity about the client's unique life experiences appeal to me. I like the idea of mutual learning, of the client and the therapist mutually learning from each other. and the therapist being a champion for client autonomy, believing that the client is in charge, and believing that the clients have the ability to navigate their lives in a way that best suits them. That to me is quite powerful. I also enjoyed using the different approaches for our couple, John and Jane, and I have cultivated a profound respect for the proponents of these theories, and their brilliant minds, and have paved the way to these tools that we already have at our disposal in helping our clients with their most intimate and complex most complex problems. I found myself being passionate about the insights each theory offers in understanding human relationships, as well as about helping clients create the relationships that they desire. I think it really was a journey and an exploration of human experience that cannot help but transform a person professionally and personally. Discuss the theory in this course that speaks to you the most and why. Okay, Michael White's narrative theory takes the cake for me. I like the idea of separating the problem from the person. I like the idea of externalizing and personifying the person and the problem and naming them, and just how automatically it decreases helplessness, opening up to new avenues for change. I think I like that it highlights the importance of culture in the identity in the identity development of individual, and the cultural myths that they have internalized. Understanding that they can use the stories in organizing and making sense of their world and experiences, how powerful their words can be, and how much influence they have in their decision making and behavior. That is very powerful. And I mean, they start to feel powerful and in charge, allowing them to find their voice and helping them to become experts in themselves and to live in a way that reflects their preferred goals and values is quite liberating, and I think it's quite powerful and a great way to live. It is non-threatening, it's non-pathologizing, it's empowering, it's collaborative, and it recognizes that people have resources and expertise. And most of all, there is no truth, only different interpretations of reality. Meaning, therefore, becomes important. When there are no truths and only interpretation, anything is possible. And of course, feminist therapy. Who wouldn't want gender equality and sensitivity? As a woman and a champion for the underdogs and being cognizant of all forms of oppression, I think it's important to integrate anti-oppressive framework into our therapeutic work. Feminist therapy was developed in response to the many challenges that women face throughout history, and understanding the power differentials and the power dynamics is crucial. It's crucial. Much like the collaborative therapy, feminist therapy recognizes clients' strengths, expertise in their own lives, explores their own individual identity. It finds strengths and uses them to feel more powerful in society. From their empowerment emerges the belief that they have control over their personal identities. Clients learn to proclaim the rights to their own economic success, the right to their own bodies, the right to their to their own lives, and they have the right to name themselves and their experiences. They become more independent in their thinking and more open to possibilities of ever expanding growth and experience. And as a result, they anticipate more from themselves and their relationships. There you go. This course has been a slice in the journey, and I can't wait to learn more. Thank you.